Today we're making 2 tree lamps, one inspired by a real tree and the other grown straight from imagination. I'm Wesley, and my wife Katie and I are going to guide you through the magical process of turning clay and thrifted lampshades into mystical autumn-kissed trees. Let's see which one glows on you.
Get in, loser, we're going hiking.
Fall's such a fantastic season. The trees themselves feel absolutely enchanting. And this year, I wanted to make something that keeps glowing long after the leaves have let go. So I went searching for the perfect muse. And I think I've found it. A gnarled log that was once a living tree. It only needs a few minor adjustments and some pizzazz to work as a lamp. So I'm going to create a digital sketch to give it some branches and maybe a curve or two here and there. I'd also like to round out the back since it's a bit flat. I can relate. But without further ado, let's craft our first lamp. I'm using clay to build the general taper of a trunk, and this first tree is going to be a big one, like a regal forest guardian.
Well, it took some effort, but our main shape has been achieved, and but anyways, now at this point, we can start refining.
Using the log as a reference, I'm first marking out the major contours as a carving map. Then I can add clay on to bulk up roots, knots, and other quirks. I'm going to consult my handy-dandy rock bucket for making irregular grooves which sort of mimic natural weathered tree striations. This tree is far from having its literal glow up, but here I found myself having a bit of the first phase blues.
I'm actually incredibly frustrated because I made this mock-up a few days ago, and there's so much that's actually working for this thing, and I just can't really achieve it on a larger scale. We'll see what happens.
I feel like this happens to me often, where my test run is better than the real deal. I don't know, maybe the camera adds too much pressure? Are there any other artists that feel like this? How do you get out of your early stage slump? Anyhow, in this moment, I feel like this tree is turning into the one from the Starry Night. But more than anything, the stature of this is starting to remind me of the massive sequoias that we saw in California's Sequoia National Park last year. Ancient and towering. Except for this one, it's just ancient, but you can drive through it. Speaking of which, where are my adventurers? Drop your favorite national park or hiking destination and why we should go there on our next trip. I'm always looking for more inspiration in nature. So going forward, I'm going to approach this like a sequoia. I'm going to move that large lower branch from my digital sketch to keep a strong, stately trunk, and push forward with flowing, deep ridges in the texturing. Eventually, I have to chop her up to hollow out. And of course I accidentally carved straight through, so I patched that up and put her back together. Last, I made sure that the top was suitable for the lighting hardware. Oh, but before I forget, this is my subliminal message for this piece. If you support this message, feel free to share this video with someone who agrees. So hopefully here you can see the subtle inspiration. Light up that like button if you see the resemblance, and if you don't, drop a like anyways, because you'll want to lighten your load for this next trip.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am sick of reality. It's time to use the power of imagination. Let's make magic.
So here's our freshly conjured forest spirit. This broken and splintered nub is wild. I'm also digging this hollow in the front, and I'm fully addicted to this crack. But now with both trees done and dried, it's time to load them in the kiln where they will be fired and petrified. In the meantime, let's see what Katie's cooking up for the lampshades. These are the two shades that we thrifted, and that right there is a cat. Here's the materials that will transform them into glowing trees, much like these two sketches. This is our disappointing child with no talent, but a deep desire to quote-unquote help. Bless him. A very potent potion of sorts must be brewed in order to transfigure the fabric into various autumn tones. While that brews, the shades must be stripped clean like the trees of late fall. Katie calls this move the alligator roll. With a bare frame, she clips fabric into place and cuts them down to size, then begins sewing them to the frame. Even Thanksgiving travels can't slow her down. Dottie hasn't moved since we last saw her, but here's a quick look at those finished shades. Let's also check in on those tree trunks. The Imagine tree is looking great, but of course this one had a small blowout. With deadlines approaching, might fix it, might not. Either way, I can now add iron oxide to the textures before firing once more to make permanent the true earthy tones.
Well, I was thinking that I was going to make these look like bronze with this metallic wax, but this real tree looks so good with just the iron oxide that I don't know if I have the heart to do it. So I don't know, maybe I'll just make this Imagine tree look like it and leave this one as it is, and you can all tell me if I've made a mistake.
I'm first lightly layering on the copper wax for a warm base tone and then adding gold for highlights. Once dry, I wash in black ink to further accentuate the textures. The wax repels most of the unwanted ink, but a little touch-up never hurts. To install the hardware, I'm using a 2-part epoxy sculpt. I mix 2 identical slugs together thoroughly, then wrap it around this nut and secure it in the top. Now, the classic bead on a string trick to fish the cord through. It was a little tricky with this Imagine tree because of the curves, but we managed pretty well. Now I've got to say, with these trees finished, I'm split like a log on which is my favorite. Let us know yours.